Wow, 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 wow. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Skyline TV. Today on our movie review, I have with me two wonderful analysts, or should I call them, what should I call you guys? Analysts. Okay. Yeah, I have with me, along Tony, a pretty lady in the house. Then I have a very cute, handsome guy here. Person of Babatunde. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. Now, viewers, we are actually trying to review about. We want to make a quick review on three movies. The one is Jenifa Dowry. The other is King of Boys, and the last one is Chief Daddy 2. We want to know about these movies, how people felt about it after watching it, and what impact this movie have actually made so far. Because some people believe that these movies actually, give them a lot of vibes. Some learn some certain things from it, and some believe that it is just nonsense. There's nothing to learn about. Does not give them any moral lessons and the likes. Most especially Jenifa Dowry. People believe that there is a lot of moral lesson in that movie, because it is not just a movie that intend to make you laugh alone, but also to impact some certain things in your life. Also, we have King of Boys. The movie is an action movie by Shola Shobowale. We all know him as Teen Tomato and the likes. And Abi?
Yeah, produced by Kemi.
Exactly. Now the last one is Chief Daddy 2. Though I haven't watched it, so I can't say much about it. And that's why I have my beautiful lady and handsome guy here to give us a brief and in-depth critic and analysis on each of these movies. So you guys are welcome.
Thank you for having me. I think we should start with Jennifer's Diary.
Really?
Yeah. Or what do you think?
I don't have issue with that one.
Let's start with Jennifer's Diary. I think Jennifer's Diary has how many seasons now? I think this is the 29 or 26 season.
Really?
Yeah, somebody was trying to make comment and said the movie is too long. Like, why would she? The TV series rather is too long. Like, why would you make a TV series that long? And then I said, as much as she's trying to impart knowledge, that's one. Trying to pass a message. And then entertaining is very important, because we go through lots in this country, and then exactly.
So after your
after
stress,
you need to sit home and watch something that will make you relax and laugh away the whole thing. And then somebody also made a comment and said, when will Jenifa start speaking
good English?
For crying out loud, why would you say Jenifa should speak good English? Obviously, we all know that language. I mean, the way she speaks is just a trademark. I mean,
exactly.
Can you just remind me one of our jokes? I mean, she's always like, okay. There was a time she was trying to correct. She was trying to correct this housemaid. That's Lady. So Lady brought juice, and then she said,
you said I'm ready. She brought juice.
She brought juice, rather. She brought juice. Take. He said, She said, what's this? He said, juice. He said, what is this? What's this? These juices. All over here. He said, this juice. You get? You don't know. I want to correct someone. It's just to make fun and let people laugh. That's just.
While I agree with you on like the entertainment part, I think that there's something called character development. To a certain extent, Jenifa as a character has actually developed, which is quite commendable, because I think it was the same way. I mean, Jenifa's Diary, like the entire series, is a spin-off of Jenifa.
Yeah, Jennifer, yes.
The movie itself, and then the return of Jenifa. You see the kind of experiences that she went through in Jenifa, and how like in Jenifa's Diary, there's supposed to be a spin-off. There has actually been developments. There has been, like, should I say, a refinement. can't we now show this refinement or refinery, excuse me, in her speech?
Well, the thing is, as we all know, Jennifer Diary is a show, a movie series whereby you just come, you watch, you laugh, you make yourself happy.
It's not just laugh. That's
that is, you laugh.
It's very didactic in nature. That's what
it's not just
you laugh.
I mean,
and there's a lot of lesson. There's a lot of
message.
there's a message that you
I think
learn.
that is one thing I really commend Funke Akindele for. I think every movie that
There's always a
makes,
message.
there's always a message. I mean, look at, for example, Omogeto the Saga. That movie was amazing. From the
characters,
the very first thing, I think one important message they tried to pass across was loyalty.
Yes, that's between
Chomi Choco
and that's the loyalty for
yes, Chomi Choco
and no, but still always between.
I mean, like apart from the comedy that she always infuses into her movies, there's always something to take away. There's always something to take away from all her movies. From the very first thing of what's it called, Omogeto the Saga, where she saved that boy. The thing that actually put her in trouble, where she saved the little boy who had drugs on him, and
she seized the drugs.
You saved the boy,
and you have to still damage.
Yes, and then you're like, in trouble.
That boy is too small now.
She knows how to put in characters, display and make everything look perfect. So I just like her
because drug trafficking, especially with children, is a really, really, really big issue. That was such a great way to bring light to that, because a lot of people struggle in this our country with the underdevelopment and everything. Is one of like the menaces that we struggle with. So I feel that she's so brilliant.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Basically, let's just give her a flower. I mean,
she made a video showing the multiple awards. I think there was a room showing the multiple awards that she has done. She actually really deserves it, because from the days of when Nollywood was just starting, even this is this skit that be meme or now why are you running? She was the one in the video, right? Look at Omogeto the Saga. That movie was amazing. The characters, Aka, oh my god. The character.
No, you know what? That movie, one thing I respect about that movie is that Funke Akindele pulled stars.
Yes.
I mean, she pulled stars and they all played their roles very
perfectly,
well. I mean, perfectly, very well. Yes. For instance, you have the role Messiah played.
Yes.
I mean,
it was
that's a brief star. I mean, it was a brief and she delivered. She delivered. Look at Femi Stone, Nassim Simen. I mean, these stars really delivered each delivered their roles. And again,
even Yemi Alade.
You know,
for like she was the owner of the drugs that the little boy carried.
So you guys want to lost me now? See the way I'm looking at you people.
You said earlier.
See the way I'm looking at you.
You said you have not watched the movie, and that's why we are here.
Oh, no
Don't worry, we'll help you analyze it.
No problem.
In the course of analysis, you get to know the movie fully.
No, let me be watching at you people.
So why discussing that movie? Funke Akindele, our own production is just always perfect. I remember.
Like, imagine somebody who has been delivering from I can't remember how old I was when I watched those movies.
And she's also a TV presenter.
Someone who has been delivering. Yes, she's doing fabulously. She's doing fabulously in Nollywood. She's one of the leading, and I mean, she's a woman, right? So like,
you're proud.
I'm proud. Like, this is somebody who is representing us. I watched an interview. Us as a woman. Right? I watched an interview with Shude, and she spoke about her previous marriage and how she struggled. I was like, and like, even in the midst of everything, look at how well she has delivered. Is there anything, like, is there any project that she has put her hand to? African Magic series, My Siblings and I, that is airing now, all of it. I think even from Jenifa's Diary now, there's a new series, The House Helps, and she's really doing well because there's always a lesson to take away from every episode. I don't know how she does it, but it is amazing.
Let me bring you back to that movie and we'll get to the saga. Could you believe that in 2020, we all know what happened in 2020, the COVID, the pandemic and everything. In 2020, the movie was the highest grossing movie. I mean, the movie sold over 600 million. And imagine that was during COVID. Imagine there was no COVID. I mean, while she was producing the movie, I mean, nobody knew that there was something Omogeto was cooking until her birthday. And that's a marketing strategy. Imagine. Until her birthday. She released the picture on her birthday. Imagine a star like her. Obviously, everybody wants to post the picture. So everybody was posting the picture of that Omogeto the saga. That's a marketing strategy. That aside, she premiered the movie. I mean, she did one private premiere where she invited almost all, few stars. She put few stars. And then she invited them. Imagine all the stars came all dressed, razzed and everything. And they had to post their picture on their social media page. That's what adverts. Imagine. I mean, that's adverts. I mean, look, she does her own things in a very unique way.
And then the saga, apart from the great cinematography, the saga brought back memories. It brought back this nostalgic feeling. I don't know if you watched the original, like the Omogeto.
Yes.
If you watched it, I think I was about 10 years old when the movie went wild. I watched it and. Like, you cannot ask me anything. Next I just say, stop shaving.
So now, if that is part of what we are saying, what are those interesting characters we can find in Jenifa Diary that you know that they did perfectly?
Jenifa's Diary. Actually, we need to know that Jenifa's Diary movie is a way of bringing up and coming.
Yes, that's true.
She was like the major. She's like the major actor. In that Jenifa's Diary, she tries to look at Toby Makinde, the Timini guy.
Yeah, that boy is doing like
look at Timini now. He's really big now. He's really doing big now. And she was the one who brought Toby Makinde to the limelight. You can imagine. So he's big now. And not everything started with Jenifa's Diary. So that's just it.
And they even brought him in late.
Yes.
Towards the end, the people who actually started fast,
it's just
adapt.
It's just in few cases. You're just bringing few stars.
Yes.
I mean, it's just to promote young talent.
She's really doing well. She's really doing well.
It's just to promote young talent for me. That's just it.
Okay, now that we've talked about Jenifa Diary, what of King of Boys?
Wow.
What will you say about King of Boys?
You see, King of Boys. I will say any Nollywood similar to that.
Yes.
A season movie with 7 episodes.
That's King of Boys 2.
Yeah. It's a season. That's King of Boys. Okay, should we start? Let's start with the 1. We have the 1. I mean, we have King of Boys 1. You have was it Return of King of Boys?
Yeah.
King of Boys 2. And then you have the King of Boys. I mean, the seasonal one which has 7 episodes. The first one was Shola Wale with the kids. I mean,
The Return of the King was the 2.
The Return of the King. King of Boys was 1.
King of Boys was 1. The Return of the King was the one that was episodic.
Okay, the one that was episodic. Now, let's talk about the
episode. See the way you guys are analyzing it.
Yeah, because I watched it. I mean, I sat to watch that movie. In fact, I rewatched.
Really?
Yes. I rewatched the movie.
I did as well.
I rewatched the movie, and that's because imagine I've not seen a Nollywood movie. You can't tell the end of the movie.
We will come back to storyline. But the props, costume,
yes,
makeup. Hey! I looked at it and I was like,
that movie was just something different from the norm. I mean, the regular we used to have in Nollywood. I mean, I watched obviously Wale is a good actor.
There was a way that Kemi Adetiba and whoever was and the script writers and everybody on the crew were able to extract emotions. So how everybody knows that this person is a bad person.
Yes.
And like you expect that okay, you're a bad person, so you should get what's coming to you.
Exactly.
But like everybody, they were able to draw sympathy, not necessarily empathy, like sympathy. People were able to when she went to jail in the one when she went to jail, like this caught fire. I remember I was in tears in the cinema when she lost her children.
At the end of the movie.
When she lost her children, I cried. I was in the cinema and I embarrassed myself in the cinema. Like I went to my friend and she was like, "Why are you trying to like?" I cried so much in the cinema because I was like, how can someone who has killed other people's children now loses her own child? Ideally, with our Nigerian mentality, it should be like you got
and
I was so emotional in the cinema,
and you are still crying.
I cried.
So you are part of them.
And then the portrayal of loyalty, Adetaga to the king, I was like, oh God. But if we remove the good cinematography, the sentimentality, there was a lot of hard work that went into the actors, all of them.
They delivered. Look at the actor. The actor was not in the first one and the Return of the King until this saying the season one we just watched. Imagine when there was this interview I watched. The actor said, it was the campaign manager for Shobowale.
Yeah.
The actor said, when I got the scripts, I was like, how am I going to act this movie? Because I've never acted a role. I've never played a role like this. And then he said, most times, there's always this tense moment between Shobowale and Mr. Fashino. That's the campaign manager, the actor. There's always this tense moment between them. So he said, he's always looking for a way to frustrate Shobowale before they say action.
So
when they get into action,
so always like display.
There's always tense with because already Shobowale she's already frustrated.
Yeah.
So coming to him even on stage, when they call action, she's still frustrated. So there's always this. Oh my God! There's always this frustration.
There was a lot of pressure on all of those characters because like everybody just wanted them to deliver. 2012 did
everybody wants to give that best.
For someone who I think apart from the movie she did with Funke Akindele, I think King of Boys was one movie that really threw her.
She did well.
I watched was it an interview? Yeah, it was an interview where she said she had to get her voice cracked.
You can imagine.
Wow. She had to put on weight so that she could look more like Shola Shobowale, so that it could look like she could look like a more realistic version of Shola Shobowale's younger self. It was amazing because I read some of the things that went on during the shooting of the movie. There was a part where Kemi Adesiba said that the part where she was whipping herself.
Yes.
Because she could not forgive herself for her children's death. She was saying that scene was so emotional for all of them. It was so touchy. They all had to look away because some parts of that. They said they asked her that did she really want to do that scene, like for real, and she said that she would go all out. Kemi Adesiba said she was shocked, and that scene when they were shooting it, she said she could not look.
You can imagine
that everybody on set for that particular scene, they could not look. I think there were some parts where she actually whipped herself, and they like everybody on set was shaking. I was like, wow, like the drugs they went to,
Shobowale is actually, and because I remember watching when she did the audition, she said she went for a party. In fact, she said it was the daughter that called her for that role because she doesn't live in Nigeria, so that called her for the role. She said, "Mom, there's a movie. You need to go for the audition in Nigeria," and daughter paid for the ticket, and then they flew down to Nigeria.
They said all of that in King of Boys, the making of the king.
Yeah, I think that was where I watched.
The one that Amasan.
So she said she said she came. She was coming from a party.
Yeah.
She was all dressed with her gear and everything, and then she came for the audition. She was like, "Hey, sorry, I'm coming. I'm not from a party. So I'm so sorry." I said, they said, "Okay, madam, just freestyle." And then she freestyled. She did her best, and then she left. Then came by this and said, "This is the perfect person."
Yeah.
I mean, this is the perfect.
Came by this is the king.
No.
Like, and do you know that apart from, I think she was the one who directed Wedding Party.
Yes.
Apart from wedding, I think the Wedding Party was her first. I think it was her debut as a producer. Yes.
You're right. Yes.
Because before then, she was a TV. She was the one who used to anchor Martina Dance Hall in those days.
Yes.
So like, I think Wedding Party was the first work that she got as a producer, and then King of Boys was explosive.
I hope she gave us another banger anytime soon.
Very soon.
I think now let's talk about the storyline,
the story and the character. Let's talk about the journalist.
Yeah. That guy,
the journalist.
I have a problem. Yeah. He was a complete deontologist. I have a problem with the character he played because to a certain extent, I was like, do people actually really risk their lives like this? No,
aside risking your life,
but like
I was particular about the release, how he released the story.
Yeah.
I guess he released the story. Was it a day before the election?
It was too nonchalant. Like he literally
does not care about
to the wind. I was like, you don't do that as a journalist.
He was so passionate about his.
I mean, people who want to do such things, they go under. They have
under the cover.
They have like they do.
They have mental backup, all these things to
only. Like, are you trying to? Okay, if you're not even thinking about yourself,
why are the family?
Look at your child, for Christ's sake. He already lost his family.
Yes.
He lost his wife. He had lost his child, and he was still willing to go.
And eventually, they lost the credibility of that story.
Do you understand?
Because when his boss, I feel that's a message. That's a message for us because the kind of system we have, I think. Corruption and everything. I think she was trying to pass a message there, which I feel we should just keep that.
He threw all questions. I was like,
we should just keep that.
And then another thing for me was that if you remove the sentimentality of perfect acting, perfect cinematography, Kemi Adetiba, the King, everybody, because a lot of things really did not add up. I mean, like King of Boys 2. That was supposed to be based off of King of Boys 1. If you're following King of Boys 1, a lot of things actually did not really add up. And like Makanaki and what's her name? I'm like, this is somebody who killed your daughter.
Yes.
Somebody who sent you to jail. Has tried to murder you. I mean, even in 2, they shot at her car. You could have died. Like, it was too easy.
I feel
was too easy.
I feel we still have more. We still have more to do. We still have more to watch in that movie.
So we go back to Chief Daddy 2. So
going for the broke. You see, Chief Daddy 2 for me. Will I say it was not? Well, maybe the storyline, and again, it was just overly star-stopped because imagine you have too many stars doing. I don't want to say doing rubbish. Because obviously the transitioning and everything was just so. I mean, I'm like, all of this is.
We don't following the script.
We don't need it. Like, we don't need it. There were some things there were some scenes, something that was like we don't even need all these things. I'm like, and you have big stars. You put big stars in this movie, and then what kind of storyline is this? Because you will watch a place where you see. I sing while watching a scene. You'll be thinking, okay, they're trying to pass a message, and eventually.
You see, that is nonsense.
They transit to another thing. I'll be like, what is all this?
And it came from Ebony Life.
I feel that you can't be too perfect.
I know that.
You can't be too perfect. It's just a way of doing your own thing, and then you improve. Because lately she released a statement regarding that, saying we are open to criticism actually, but insults will not tolerate. She apologized. Was it an apology? It was an apology because it's just a way of trying to.
She understands where people are coming from, and that their next production will be better
than the one. But is there any message that movie passed through?
Message.
I don't think so.
Even the one. Let's start from the one. After the death of Chief Daddy, different women were showing up. They were coming with different children. Different women were coming up with different children. We were still trying to see what will make this movie.
We have a comment here on Twitter.
Okay.
So it says, the Nigerian audience will eventually get tired of seeing the same faces in the similar storyline.
Yes.
It's still the same storyline.
That's similar storyline. Look at Fowls. Fowls played a similar character in Kwam's Money.
Okay.
The same young guy who has a lot of money but
that nonchalant
was a
guy.
similar character he played with Kwam's Money, and then that they brought into this Chief Daddy 2. I'm like, why?
Both in Chief Daddy 1 and Chief Daddy 2. It
was more evident in Chief Daddy 2. I'm like, why?
Yes.
Why?
Well, there's another one here too. Says that Twitter almost did not make me watch Chief Daddy 2 due to all the negative feedback, but after watching it, I realized it was not that bad. In fact, it was entertaining. So that means that this one I really like.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. What I like, it, I don't like it. You know.
We're not now even talking about like from personal, this thing, like just
the general perspective. There's a way you watch a movie and then you see
Hollywood
like
has gone beyond this.
just
I feel like this
watching.
is such a setback. Hollywood has grown. We have amazing movies, so why should this now be?
And someone like him should have done something more better than what he did.
Look at all the characters that
their presence,
look at all the
use.
actors. But I think one thing that stood out for me really was how women are not really rated, to be honest.
How? I don't understand.
Because how will one man gather that many? No. You
know, at first they were not staying together.
I know that.
It was after the death of Chief Daddy, everybody's appeared. Sure, you get.
Yes.
Now, when everybody appeared after the death of Chief Daddy, they were trying to. The major thing was just a way to share the property and everything.
I'm saying, look at how the only guys on that table.
What do you mean by
Look at wait, calm down.
No. What do you mean?
Calm down now. Look at how the only guys on that table
was behaving.
No, they were not misbehaving. Where what's his name? This huge guy. I can't remember his name right now.
The only son in the house is the
footballer. No, the footballer.
The footballer. Yes. I think it's just footballer and fouls.
The footballer. That's exactly what I'm saying. Look at how they were the only two guys in there, and they portray the football. I mean, apart from Fowles' nonchalant attitude, they portray the footballers to be level-headed, reasonable, rational. I'm talking about the one now, not because in the two he had some problems. I'm talking about the one. And then the remaining people were women, and it was the women who had issues the most.
No, that's just the reality. That's the reality. No, it's not a sexist statement. That's just the reality.
What do you mean by reality?
No, that's just the reality, because obviously, look at it. I mean, it's just women you see in most issue. They want to talk about it. Imagine, okay, I have a child. You have a child for the rich. In fact, most of the women, most of these wives. I mean, what was their interest in getting married to Chief Daddy?
They know what I'm saying.
What was their interest?
That's exactly.
So if you're getting married to someone as rich and as old as that, be ready for drama, because and you yourself are drama.
That's exactly.
You get
women. Now, why do they have to portray it? So are they saying that I cannot?
That is your own perspective. That is your own perspective.
You guys are so wonderful.
No, now because even Kate and Funke Akindele, they're from the same
sisters.
You get.
I mean,
but one is dramatic. One is dramatic.
They're both
dramatic. One is quite very, very, very nervous, and that's Funke Akindele. The other sister is a bit calm. But Funke is the drama queen. Yes. No, I know they are both. I know they are both drama queen. But Funke is the. I mean, the most one, which was evident.
Okay, what's CC ice cream? What's her name? Linda Ihoma Ejiofor.
Everything boils down to women.
Why? That's my problem. Why?
Everything boils.
Why?
It's just I think it's just a natural woman. It's human nature. Let me just call it human nature. It's human nature. It's just human nature. It's just human nature. I mean, what the basic features you get in a woman. I mean, it is human nature to. I mean, I don't say human nature because human nature is just like a general features for both sex. Now, for women, you know that it's human nature. Okay, if you live in a polygamous home, you always fight.
Yes, but not all.
I think another thing that the show tried to do was
everybody wants to go
show that polygamy is not really the way out. Because like
it is now. Because everybody. No. No, I'm just trying to explain that that's just the way the polygamous home is. Because when you go to a polygamous, and what you see is just the way is what we watch in Chief Daddy. Because when you see women, in homes like that, what they want is just their own interest. I mean, everybody wants to protect their child.
True.
What's that? Auntie, what's she called?
Shafi.
Not Shafi. The legally married woman.
Okay, Miss K or something like that.
Auntie K. Auntie K or Miss K. You know, she wants to protect the son.
Yeah.
You want to protect your own child too. Everybody's fighting for their own interest. So there's not you want to fight for your interest and there won't be conflicts.
True.
So that's just it. It's not about
Okay, because if I should leave you guys now, we'll not live here, I know, and our time have far spent. She'll get our time has, but quickly, how can you rate both movie? I'm not interested in what we call Chief Daddy. I don't really know, even the way you analyze itself. I've already lost interest. But let's talk about the Jenifa Diaries and King of Boats. How can you rate
which is
the two?
First,
to you. Wait, calm down. You.
I don't really have any rating to give you Jenifa's Diary. But King of Boys, I'll give King of Boys 8 over 10. I'll give the remaining 2 for the storyline. If there's a sequel, like another this thing, maybe that will explain all the gaps that we saw in the 2.
Okay.
Maybe then I cannot give it a 10 over 10. Okay. But for now, let's just say I'll give it an 8.
Okay. For me, first I would like us to understand that Jenifa's Diary is TV series.
Okay.
Yeah. And King of Boys is a full production. So you can't compare Jenifa's Diary to King of Boys because obviously King of Boys is you can't.
So what I don't know is that there's no need for me to watch the movie again.
We already
have done everything. I've done all the justice and the like. So going to the end of the show, viewers, this is what you have seen, or let me say, this is what we have just done to the movie. Even if you have not watched it, try to get should I say a copy?
You can download.
Right?
And so you should allow them make their money. Watching on Netflix, watching Daddy 2 on Netflix. So let them make their money. Okay. They spent a lot.
They spent a lot, really.
Yes, they spent a lot.
Okay, that is about that. Viewers, we've come to the end of the show on Skyline TV this morning on movie review. As we've seen it, our 2 in-house analysts have actually break it down, so they make it interesting in a way that you can get it and you watch it and you get your own part of your opinion whether it is good or bad. So but before then, ensure you subscribe on our YouTube page, Facebook, and follow us on Instagram for more
like, comment,
details, for more shows, and more are coming to your way. I remain confident in Bosami.
And I Bye today.
Bye, guys.